What's up? What's up, everybody? How you doing? Welcome back to On the Warpath. Sanchez 405 with you. If you're new, make sure you click that subscribe button, hit the bell so you get notifications anytime there's new content posted. If you're on Twitter, make sure you follow me at Sanchez 405 and share this out, because you know what we do here. We talk Washington Redskins, we talk Washington football team, we've talked allegations, but we always talk Washington Commander stuff. And I bring in an expert today on chain of command, one of my good friends, a mentor I consider, and a brother from another mother. My man, you can hear him 9 to noon talking all this mess and smack with his sidekick Robin, or he might be Alfred the Butler, Anthony Haney. But I bring in my man, Travis Thomas. Travis, what's good, brother?
Man, it's good to be back. But you know what? I could tell it's been too long since I've been on, because you have new theme music, and I love it. I was in here rocking.
Yeah, we had to change up. You know how you do, Cub. We had to change it up and everything, but we are rocking and rolling. We staying fresh as ever on here. And bro, I'm gonna dive right into it with you. It's been a year since you started on this full-time radio journey. And congratulations to you and Anthony, what you guys do. Movement y'all really have started here. You've got an old, new. You've connected me and Toothpick, Paulie, G from the shop. I don't know. I think there is probably. I think Russia is Lisa people's problem in the Ukraine, dealing with like the four of us, AP and all these other folks, man. But just talk about your journey over the last year and getting to this point now where you've been at, and just like reflect on that.
Man, that's such a great question that no one's asked me. So congratulations for being the first to crack that code. I mean, honestly, I don't even think about myself. I think about you all, and that's the truth. I think about, everybody you just mentioned and how the show has been able. You guys were always a part of Team 980, and I knew that coming in. I was familiar with 980. I worked there part-time as well as the fan. So I was familiar with a lot of the callers and obviously the hosts that came before me. I always say I stand on the shoulder of giants, even with that, with Galdi and Doc and all those guys. All those guys, particularly Doc, has been instrumental in my career, quite frankly. So, I knew what I was coming into in terms of already having a strong base, a very knowledgeable base, a very personable base. And I knew that my personality would fit you guys. What I didn't know was how fast it would happen. And what I didn't know was how powerful and how palpable it would be. And so for that, I'm eternally and forever grateful to you guys, quite frankly, because, a lot of people, and I know you remember this, my first month or two, I was getting calls and none of the Hall of Famers, but people would call and say, man, I didn't even want to like you. And I've listened and the show has grown on me and I like you and all that. And so you guys have just been able to take the show and my career and Anthony's career to the next level. And I'll be forever grateful, because you know how this business is. You don't know how long this is going to last, or I'm going to last, or anyone's going to last, or where we will end up eventually. But one thing's for sure, the bond that we built is real. And no matter where I end up, that'll never be broken ever. So honestly, man, as I reflect on the year, I automatically go back to you guys, to be honest, for taking me in and connecting with each other and building off of that. I'm most proud of that, to be honest with you.
And hopefully we can get Junkyard Dog to say Eric Bieniemy correctly once in a while. But I take back to where I first, it's two things that I experienced. I got on the Travis Thomas experience. You and Santana Moss, and I remember talking to him at the last Redskins home game against the Giants. I said, man, that dude is crazy. And I say, but the first episode that y'all had, like with Fred Smoot and stuff, I was like, I like this dude. And then you and Q on Wizards Outsiders, I'll never forget it. I remember I tweeted y'all and I said, you all are the only reason me in Southwest Virginia watches this filth of a team. Is I will, like, there have been some great moments, like, you had West Hall and all you guys on there.
Yeah.
and that was great. And I told Anna this too the other day. We recorded the post game show for our first game against the Giants, and then who's on the Redskins post game show after the post game show but you? And I was like, I said, damn, this was just meant to be. So it's I mean, it's been amazing, and just to get to know you from afar. I mean, I've met more people that have been guests on your shows than you, like Lou Holder. I said, Lou, I said, but we're gonna make this happen one day, eventually. And but it's been great to connect with you, brother, and just be you considering us part of the show. I think it's amazing.
Oh, it's more than part of the show at this point for me. You, G from the Shot. I mean, I can't even name all the guys. AP, obviously, Paulie in the 757, Dump Truck Don, all these guys that I call Hall of Famers. It's the truth. I consider you more than part of the show. You all now, to me, are friends. You're friends, your family. So I just honestly, I appreciate you bringing up a lot of this stuff, because I think what has happened over time is people have got so comfortable with the show and so comfortable with what we have built that a lot of folks don't even know my story, to be honest. And so you mentioning that you saw me on all these shows, you know, there's a method to that madness. A lot of people don't know I spent a decade behind the scenes. I was Anthony before Anthony, right? In both radio and television and podcasts. I was behind the scenes forever. And, you know, just God's grace and me continuing to be persistent and trying to get on air eventually led to that. And I've been on air since. But I have a strong versatility, and I'm able to, I can host different shows. I can produce different shows. I can write, I can podcast, I can edit, I can shoot, I can do lighting, you name it, I can do it. And so you just even mentioning this stuff, I think, for me is cool to talk about, because a lot of people don't really know. They just hear you and your current. And like you said, the first time you saw me was with Santana. Then you saw me with Quentin. I've worked with Michael Jenkins. I've done behind the scenes. So, you know, a lot of people know me from different things because I bring that to the table. And a lot of people don't really know that about me unless they do their research.
Yeah. You know, you talk about it, and you kind of brought that energy to Team 980. Also, you brought that over to the BetQL Network. You can watch him on Twitch. Y'all, everything that Travis is doing, his social medias, they're all in the description, and also the link to Twitch, Sunday's Bets. I think Bobby Jones and them on the Gospel Channel might be a little upset about that. So I just need you to get like a Bobby Jones jury curl one day when you're talking about bets or something like that.
You know what's funny is this is my life. And we talked a little bit off air before we did this. We don't need to go there. But you know a lot of my life. Let's just leave it at that. My man, I leave church and go straight to gamble for 4 hours.
These hoes ain't loyal.
Hey, Corey, I still had a holy water on my forehead. And I'm talking about a parlay.
Deacon Johnson, hey, come over here, young blood. Can you tell me what you think about that plus 2 with the Redskins and the Cowboys? What do you think about that?
I'm gonna keep it real. I'm gonna keep it real, man. And you already know this, and I talk about this on the show. But I've been gambling on sports illegally for 15 years. So now, if anything, I'm like, look, Lord, it's legal. I'm responsible. You know, I'm cool. I'm not taking the baby's diaper money and betting it on the Buccaneers. Like in a lot of ways too, man, to be honest. I feel like I help folks. I will say this. This is one kind of embarrassing story, but I am proud of it. I was leaving a store around where I live locally, and I had in headphones, and I could have swore I heard someone saying my name. But, you know, I got the music and whatever, and I do get recognized. I'm not trying to brag, but I get recognized. People know me. And so I'm like, somebody's calling my name, but I'm going to just keep walking, right? And sure enough, they get louder and louder to the point where I know this person's like behind me. So I take out my headphone, I get my mind right. I'm like, all right, this is clearly someone who's a fan or whatever.
Right.
I turn around. My man is like, hey, Travis Thomas, I know who you are. I'm like, oh, I didn't like his energy. Like, whoa. And he's like, I just want to thank you. Your bet that you gave out last week, whatever, kept my lights on. I was like,
Oh my God.
all right, bro, solid. I just went, solid. Put my headphone back in.
Oh, God.
Kept my lights on, man.
Travis Thompson experience. We keep the lights on. Hey, man. The biggest gambling holiday of the year was on Sunday, and it's Wednesday, so I can still get you to talk about the Super Bowl.
That's
man.
right.
Joey B didn't get it done, but Matthew Stafford and company, you talk about standing on the shoulders of giants. Y'all, I have had a little bit of, I looked at him with a critical lens, Matthew Stafford. And my biggest question to you is, throughout the Super Bowl run to, who made who? And they said, did the Rams make Matt Stafford, or did Matt Stafford make the Rams? Or was it a little bit mutually beneficial to them growing and becoming these champions?
Well, of course, it was mutually beneficial, but you have to give Stafford the edge because McVay took the Rams to the Super Bowl with Jared Goff and didn't get it done. And sure enough, he walked into Les Snead's office in that ownership group, and he said, look, I need a guy. I mean, Jared Goff, I understand he's our top pick, and we went to a Super Bowl with him, and that's all fine and good. But at the end of the day, I need the guy, and this ain't it. And guess what? They got him Stafford, and they went back to the Super Bowl, and they won it. Now, I'm not going to act like they didn't add ancillary pieces, Odell Beckham, Von Miller. We understand that. But still, look at what Stafford overcame this season. They had injuries all season. Let's not just talk about the Super Bowl. They had injuries all year. He lost his running back, who should have been a stud and had a breakout year, to an Achilles early. And they never really ran the ball, quite frankly. It was all on Stafford. I know he pooped the bed a few games this year, but that happens. He's human. At the end of the day, they won the Super Bowl. Stafford made the plays in the playoffs. They don't beat the Bucs without Stafford's contributions. They damn sure don't win the Super Bowl without Stafford's contributions. He's clutch as all hell. Look at the numbers he put up in Detroit, which was a wasteland. I don't need to talk to you about the Lions. You already know. So to me, I mean, I think the answer is mutually beneficial. It was good for everyone. The defense, McVay, Stafford. But at the end, you have to give Stafford the edge because they got it done with him.
Yeah. And to double down on that, you talked about this as a hot topic on your show, and I was actually writing down stuff. I wrote down a whole list before y'all even talked about it, and then y'all tried to fastball it all through. Is he a Hall of Famer now? I was talking, shout out to my boy DMV Sports Zone, because we kind of talked about this, because I got to go on an apology run on his channel tomorrow night. Yeah, I'm eating a whole lot of crow this week, but is he a Hall of Famer? I know you talk about it being watered down and everything, which I think it is. What do you think? Is he going to be a Hall of Famer? Is he a first ballot Hall of Famer, or will he just get in there eventually?
Well, the ballot stuff kind of is, to me, a waste of time, because it doesn't matter. If you're a Hall of Famer, you're a Hall of Famer. I don't give a damn. I mean, that's the guys who's not getting in. I mean, I work with one every day, like and Brian Mitchell. And if Brian Mitchell were to get in, he wouldn't give a damn about first ballot or not. So to me, I just look at a guy and I say, is he a Hall of Famer? Now, to me, I think Stafford, as we move forward, will continue to pad his numbers, which are already Hall of Fame worthy, if you ask me. He's going to get the wins, which is what he needs. He needs more wins. He's going to get that. He may or may not, but he may get another Super Bowl. To me, I just think when his career's over, and remember this too, Corey, nowadays these quarterbacks can play till forever. Tom Brady hung it up. Tom Brady could easily have came back. So a lot of these guys are going to play a long time. Not like Brady per se, but Stafford certainly has another 3 to 4 years top shelf, high octane, at a high level. So to me, I think when it's all said and done, not only is Stafford going to get in, a lot of these quarterbacks that we look at now and we're like, that's not a real Hall of Famer, is it? Yeah, you bet your ass it is, because they're all going to get in. Matt Ryan's going to get in too. I'm convinced all these guys are.
Apparently, Kelly Stafford's getting ready to get named to a Hall of Fame. I didn't know if you saw this or not, but Utz Pretzels is sponsoring her Hall of Fame ship into their first ballot Hall of Famer. So the San Francisco fans nominated her.
Why don't you
On
leave
their
her alone, man? I mean, her man got a Super Bowl. At
No,
this point, you've
I'm petty.
apologized. You gotta leave her alone.
I'm petty. I'm petty. You know this. I'm petty. I can't drop this. I have a problem. I cannot just drop this stuff right there. And Paulie says, "What's up, too, down there?" But
I see what he said. Thank you, Paulie. Thank you. I'm seeing the comment. Everyone's sending love, and then I see all caps, Paulie. Thank you. I love you.
Tyler Perry's follow-up movie, Diary of a Mad Black Man, with
Paulie.
Right. Did they get the MVP right?
Listen, I would have given it to Donald, but I understood Cup. I understood it. I mean, I guess in a way, and I said this on the show, even though I would have voted Donald if I had a vote, honestly, I understood Cup because Odell got hurt and no one did anything at all except Cooper Kupp. And so for that, I'm okay with it. But to me, man, I mean, Aaron Donald, really from the NFC title game on, and I'm sure he had a great playoffs, but the NFC title game on, when, remember, he was on the sideline firing guys up, and then they came out and they looked different, and they got to the Super Bowl. And he was doing the ring thing then, remember? And then they got to the Super Bowl, and it's a tight game, and the Bengals can go down and tie this game and go to overtime, and then we don't know who the hell happens, right? And then it's just like Donald just willed his team, it felt like. He just took over. And then we know the ring thing, and then he's a champ on the last play. He makes Burrow throw it away. I mean, to me, it was the moments. And whenever I think about a Super Bowl MVP, I think about the moments, and they captured it. Donald did that, but so did Cup. So if anything, I guess maybe you could have went co-MVP, but I understood why they went Cup. I would have just voted for Donald.
That would have been what I think the first time since the Doomsday Defense did it back against the Broncos way back when. So I thought there would have been. I thought they both had, and that's why I kind of posed that question to you about Matt Stafford and who made who, because it was these guys that they drafted who had been staples. I mean, hell, Darnold was there in St. Louis and lived through Jeff Fisher just to get to this point and stayed here, didn't complain. He got paid and he still worked hard there. So I that's where I kind of got it with that. But Cooper Kupp, you can't take anything away from the Slim Shady of wide receivers. And before we even, and then we'll get into Commander mess here in a minute.
Do we have to? Do we have to?
We have to. Unfortunately, we do.
All right.
But do you the halftime show after Snoop Dogg did his little rap? Did he just like not stop crip walking the whole time? Like I turned around, he was still crip walking. I think he was still crip walking in the third quarter. That was the thing that stood out to me. What'd you think about it overall in the halftime show?
What did you expect from Snoop? Listen, he's in LA, bro. Like, if that halftime show's in Miami, he just breaks you off a little crip walk and he's chilling out. That was in LA. I mean, he was crip walking. The backup dancers were crip walking. I saw someone on Twitter say that that's hip hop's version of Hamilton, and I think that's absolutely correct. I mean, it was fantastic.
Yeah.
I love the halftime show. I've watched it 17 times since the Super Bowl. True story. I've showed my kids. Me and my wife are like aged, and we've just watched it over and over. I can't say it's the greatest ever because I still remember Prince singing Purple Rain in the rain.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know how that can ever be beat, to be honest, for me personally. I don't think it can.
I tell you, I had a guy, that Super Bowl you mentioned, one of Anna and our buddies, he's like 69 years old. He went down to that Super Bowl. He was so cheap, drove down there and listened to Westwood One in the radio with Marv Alberts, probably biting somebody in the rain down there because he didn't want to buy a ticket to get in there, but he just went there.
Man, you are petty. You just can't get off Marv Albert either, can you? You just can't leave Marv alone.
But hey, you know, he was from downtown anyway.
By the way, that's not cheap. That's frugal, brother. That's what that is. That's frugal.
See, there you go. See, I set you up here. I got you now. Because you've been sitting here, and I should have ran it back because you were talking about balling on the budget last time we were talking about quarterbacks. Now, folks out here in this world, Mr. Thomas wants to throw bricks around like they for sale, like it's Paul the Bowler.
Yes. You know why?
Are you ready or why?
I'm sick of 7 wins. That's why. Look at me. I'm sick of 7 wins. We got to pay for more wins. And damn it, I just watched the Super Bowl. I saw Hip Hop Hamilton. I saw Crip Walking in the musical. I saw the musical of Crip Walking. I want that. I want a go-go G-damn Super Bowl. So you got to pay for that.
Yeah. I like, and you know, Mitch Tischler, I think, gave us all life today on your show when he said, and if there's anybody closer to the pulse than Mitch Tischler, it's JP Finley, who they talk on a daily basis here. I mean, I think this could actually happen in the grand scheme of things with Russell Wilson. And just talk about the dynamic he could add to this team. I'm thinking at least 3 or 4 more wins than what you had this year if the team is in the same stability as it was last year.
Listen, I'll go worse than that. I'll go worst case scenario. If he gives you 2 more wins and you're 9-8 and you're a wild card, I mean, he gives you a chance, man. Yes. I mean, the thing is, and you alluded to Mitch on the show today. So Mitch and I are tight, right? And so I know him. And that's why if you notice on my show, Corey, just another thing is, since we were talking about behind the scenes.
Right.
And the people that listen on the reg will understand where I'm coming from here. If you really look at my show, I don't have guests that often. Nope. If you think about radio shows that you consume, they have a guest every hour. Am I wrong? My show, I'll have a guest, maybe 2. Most days it's just me and Haney and you guys. Yeah. And so I do that by design because I only like to book people that I have a rapport with. I'm great with strangers. I am. I make friends easy. All that's fine. But I have no interest in just booking Joe Blow to talk about whatever on my show. If it's not someone that I know that I have a really good chemistry with and a good rapport with, I'm not interested. And so Mitch today, I felt, and that's why I pressed him. I felt something. And if you miss the interview, go to the Odyssey app, Travis Thomas Experience, you can hear it. But I felt,
you got to do the rewind sound.
Use the rewind feature on the Odyssey app. Do it. Hey, look, you never see me do this. I do this every time. I do the DJ joint. So Mitch kind of glossed by it a little. But I caught it because I know him. It'd be like you if you were trying to be slick and throw something past me like a fastball, high heat, right? And I was like, hold up, Corey, what you mean? So Mitch kind of alluded to, I know, he said, I know this team's going to make a big pitch. And, Russell Wilson, I think they can make him an offer. And I was like, okay, Mitch doesn't even talk like this. So then when I pressed him, he was just like, let's just say I think Russell Wilson is very much in play for the Commanders. I'm like, oh, okay. So he's, as you said, he's connected. He's dialed in. It makes sense because, look, Deshaun Watson is gifted. Everyone knows that. But, man, do you really want to go down that path right now if you're the Commanders, given everything they got going?
Exactly.
Jimmy G, I don't have a problem with Jimmy G, but I don't want to trade for him. If Jimmy G is cut by the Niners, I'd be all in. But I'm not trading for that guy. For what? So, to me, Aaron Rodgers just doesn't even feel realistic to me. I know some people think so. I don't think so. I think he's going to Denver if he leaves Green Bay because his boy is the head coach there. Yeah. And they have money and weapons.
Yeah.
It's and Russell Wilson, dog.
You can smoke out there too for him. So
facts. And so to me, it's like it's Russell Wilson or maybe I know this. I have a buddy that I have a lot of friends in Vegas, as you know, but a buddy that specifically covers the Raiders, and he said that Derek Carr is being like unreasonable with what he's asking for contractually.
Oh, wow.
So maybe Derek Carr, but I don't look. All of us as Commanders fans like Derek Carr, but no one's like drooling over that. Everyone is like, oh my God, get me Russell Wilson.
Right.
So or Deshaun. So to me, it just makes too much sense. Now the question is, will Seattle move him? To me, this feels NBA like, Corey, because I think Russell Wilson's gonna have to say, look, get me out of here. That's it. I don't want to be here. And I don't think he's done that yet. I think he's just so damn nice that he's still playing the game. At some point this offseason, he has to say, I want out and I want to go there. And I think listen, Washington has the assets to pull the deal off.
Yeah. I mean, they don't have Seattle. A lot of people don't realize Seattle doesn't have first round pick.
Right.
So I think I even said something along the lines last week. I was like, they're not in the position to haul off a whole bunch of picks and for demand if they're trying to get somebody who doesn't want to be here. And I just don't think that Pete Carroll wants to deal with this or whatever. And he's having a rash of changes on the coaching staff. So uncertainty is Seattle's best friend. And Russ, I think he saw the writing on the wall last year, had the hand injury, and we remember he was starting to feel like himself kind of against us. And it was like, oh, wait a minute, this is Russ in that fourth quarter. It's like, this is the Russ that has beat us every single time here in Washington. So I think that, where there's smoke, there's fire. You make a good point there, Trav. And then shout out to Alexander Wilson, too. He said he believes it's going to be Jimmy G. I always think the media is out to get Washington and it could be a conspiracy thing. It could be my despising love for Mike Florio and people like that. But I just don't. I think that more have been, and that was a con maybe to get something going. It's like, who can we make fun of? It's Washington, because if one thing, incompetence is a big thing there, but being sloppy is another thing that we have seen with Washington over the years. From the name release and everything like that, even in recent memory. I mean, who in good conscience, which I don't think Jimmy G would trade a first round pick for him.
Well, I mean, listen, that's a layered question. If we're talking first round for Jimmy G, if someone did that, they should be fired. But I do think there's a conversation to be had if you're not talking a first rounder for Jimmy G. Here's the thing. I have actually defended Jimmy G in some ways. I do think that Jimmy G is an upgrade from Taylor Heineke. Not much, but I do think he is. If you're talking first round, that's a fireable offense. If you're talking second, I'm not really that interested, but we could talk. Third, I'm in. I'll make that trade. This is something that no one talks about. This is just my opinion. I don't have any insider information on this other than what my buddy who covers the Raiders told me. No one's talking about the Raiders' new coach. There's a tie there with Josh McDaniels and Jimmy G. So to me, if Jimmy G is available, trade, he gets cut, whatever it is, that feels like a better landing spot that makes more sense for the player and the coach, especially if this Carr stuff I'm being told is true. So Carr wants to be paid like Mahomes, essentially. Right. So is there a team dumb enough to do that? Yep, I know one. The Commanders. And so can you get Derek Carr in a more modest type of deal? Maybe. Could you sell that to the fans? Better than Jimmy G. I mean, if you go get Jimmy G for a first rounder, just be prepared for even more anarchy because no one's going to accept that. But if you sell us Derek Carr, I think most people would accept that, to be honest, because Jimmy G and McDaniels being reunited makes a lot of sense. And if you're the Raiders, it's a cheaper price. You're probably not going to get that production, but it's not going to be that far of a drop off where they can't compete.
and you got a quarterback in Carr who's I think 32, so that's young for a quarter. That's younger on the younger scale
Right.
of a quarterback now. So I think I think that kind of would be maybe your second tier plan. Go out there, go after Carr. We'll see in that respect. And then another one that's been thrown out. What in the ham sandwich is going on out in the desert? As Yoda has joined the dark side in Kyler Murray, and confusion there is. Trade will there be?
Is this
Explain you
is
must.
this a
Explain
short
you must.
joke? Is this a
No,
short joke? Are
no,
you
no,
saying
no,
he
no.
looks like Yoda?
A little bit of both. Explain you must.
I
Master
mean,
Thomas.
look, I'm 40, dog. So I don't get I understand social media, but I'm not good at it. And I just don't understand. Like so what? He erased him from his social, and then it came out.
Right.
He was mad because he felt like the team's not helping him and he's being blamed. And then the team's like, oh, you're immature. And then I mean, come on, man. This is juvenile stuff. I mean, I was told by a lot of people that he is immature. He is a pain in the ass. We've seen a lot of it. Like Elite 11, the TV show that used to come on with Trent Dilfer. I watch that every year. And all these guys came through there. And I remember the season with Kyler Murray. Anyone who watched that show and saw that season knows what I'm talking about. He didn't want to participate in some of the competitions they used to do. They used to do like trust building exercise type stuff. And he wouldn't do that. He was just like, I'm here to play football. Like he was one of those dudes. And then he comes out and, he defends himself and he says, this stuff's not what I'm about. The guy's clearly immature. He's clearly, I don't know, like he's a jerk, I think, to be honest. I like him. I think he has game, but he kind of seems like a jackwagon to me. Now, I'll say this, and my MO on this.
I know.
Money talks, and it solves all problems.
Mm-hmm.
So what's really happening is he doesn't want to wait this out like Lamar Jackson's doing. He's like, yo, I want my extension now. Pay me now. And they're like, no. Like, you're undersized. You get hurt. You look like Baby Yoda. Like, you're going to have to earn this, Jack. And so, they're treating him like Baker Mayfield. And they're treating him like Lamar Jackson. He doesn't like it. That's really what this is about, in my opinion. Yeah. I don't think he's available.
No, I don't think that, and I think the people that are kind of suggesting that, I think they're kind of they don't have their wits about it. And I can't have as a fan, I don't want to see another fragile psyche in here that is going to cause, and then we're going to be like, well, what's going on here? What's going on here? Because it gives me very RG3 vibes. And he's probably going to write a book called Surviving the Desert after this. And, it's going to be about the bid wells and stuff. But Kyler Murray, we saw this when he was going, is he going to make his decision? Is he going to baseball? Is he going to play with the A's? Is he going to go get drafted and everything? And this is what you signed up for. You knew this coming into that with this guy. It's a hard pass for me on that one. And in that respect. But, talking about players and the value they added, let's play Commanders honors or Washington football team honors in honor of Lou Holder, because they were still technically the Washington football team there. Give me your rookie of the year.
Man, you don't know how bad I want to say Jamin Davis, but it ain't.
Cameron Cheeseman?
I mean, no, you know what? I'll give you your props. Tight end.
My man! Yes!
I'll give you your props.
Yeah.
I'll give you your props.
Johnny
you were right.
Bates.
You were right. I thought Cosme, I mean, realistically, I guess if I was like, I had to turn in a vote, I'd probably say Cosme, because I think he got better as the year went on. But I have to give you your flowers, dog, because you don't even understand, bro. Like, you deserve credit. You called this during the draft, like before they drafted him. You said, listen, I like the tight end. Where'd he go? Boise or something? Where's he from? Yeah. And you called my show and you said that. And I heard of his name, but I didn't know much about him. And I think I said to you, like, I'll look into him. I see him on the board and all that. Yeah. And they drafted him. And then I really looked into him, obviously. And I was like, I'll be damned. And in this season, you know, I mean, listen, let's slow down. The guy's not George Kittle here. But, I mean, listen, he was a big contributor. And they needed him because depth was clearly an issue once Logan went down. And I thought the young man showed up and show out. So really, I would say Cosme, but I'm going to give you your props here because you called that.
I appreciate it. I would have said Cosme too in that respect, but John Bates, I think, with a little bit of seasoning, like the chicken that we know to be unseasoned, if you give him a little bit of pepper, I love you, Anna. I think he's going to be good going forward, and I think he's going to be a valuable part of this offense, especially. We don't know what's going to be with my guy, Logan Thomas. And then, Ricky Seals-Jones. I mean, he can't take a hit from a cameraman. So if he goes back out on that field, which he did have a hell of a catch at the Giants game I was at. And that was his Lord of Fame here. But, I think John Bates can be something special. And Cosme too, man. Who is let's go with Defensive Player of the Year. Now, keep in mind, we still have an MVP to give out.
Well, it has to be John Allen. I mean, John Allen might be my next two answers, to be honest, because to me, he just took that next step. And by the way, this doesn't get enough credit. Usually, in a contract year, guys will play at a crazy level. Mm-hmm. But for the most part, after a guy gets a deal, they're either stagnant or there's a drop off. And, to me, I think it's a testament to Jonathan Allen. Like, I got a chance to know him pre-draft, leading up to the draft, because he's a local kid, and I was doing all kinds of stories on him. And we were cool. And I got a good rapport with him. And then when he got drafted by Washington, I actually kind of fell back a little bit because I don't know. I'm weird, Corey. Like, I look at a lot of my peers in the media, and it just – I'm not going to call out any names, but I see a lot of groupie stuff, dog. Like, it just always turned me off to, like, be cool with somebody organically, and then they end up in town. And then it's like, and then because of my job, I'm like hitting them up all the time and trying to get them on my show. It's just never felt right to me. So I fell back from him, but I spent enough time with him personally to see it makes sense. He has a perfect coach because him and Ron are very militaristic, the way they think, the way they operate. John is extremely regimented. And so when he got paid, I'm not going to lie, I was a hater. I'm sure you remember it, where I was like,
yeah, that said the same thing too.
We had Chase Young, Montez Sweat, Deron Payne, all these guys, Ionitis, all these guys coming up to get paid, and you pay that guy? And then all he did was shut me and anyone else who said the same thing the hell up, because he elevated his game. And it speaks to who he is, and his work ethic and his character. So I have to go John Allen for Defensive Player of the Year. I don't know how anyone could say anyone else.
Yeah, I think you got a good case there. Most improved. Who you think improve even on this team? Somebody's had to improve, right?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'll go the guy who's the most reluctant to even win this superlative you're giving out, and I'll go Landon Collins, because when they moved him to his more natural position of linebacker, he was balling out. And you were right with me in the last offseason when we're like, just bulk his ass up. Don't care about, this kills me these days in the NFL of like, oh, well, I'm a safety. You're going to do what the hell I tell you to do, because we're paying you to do it. You're a pro, bro. So if I go into work tomorrow and my boss says it's the Anthony Haney experience, you get in the background, I wouldn't like it, but I get paid. And my paycheck still my first question would be, is my paycheck still the same? Bet. Anthony, show me how to do this real quick. And you go do your thing. Like, bro, you're a pro. Come on, dog. Like, we all work jobs. We all have pain in the ass bosses on our ass for stuff. Like, I don't want to hear this like diva. Right. I know I sound old school, but I don't care. Like, no, I never liked that. Like, oh, I'm a safety. Remember, he laughed, dog. When people were bringing up linebacker to him in the media, he would laugh. Look at you now, right? Mm-hmm. So to me, if I'm Landon Collins, to keep that money coming in because he's getting paid, I would bulk up. I would take linebackers serious. I'd start talking to linebackers around the league because you know they're all boys. I'm studying tape. I'm going to be nice at what I do. So to me, he's the most improved because he switched positions and he balled. He, in my opinion, should focus on linebacker, and Washington should force him to play that.
Dump truck down. Everybody hates their commanders. Let's see here. Landon Collins was the biggest issue for this defense for 6 games of the season. Had no business placing absolutely there. And then my boy John Bostic, he just needs
shout outs to Armand too, man. I've been seeing the comments. He shows me a lot of love. I appreciate you, bro. What's Armand, up, Dump Truck Don? What's up, DMV?
Armand is down there 757 part of that contingency. So
Corey, you know I get love. Hey man, 757, man. Man, listen, Corey, man. I was riding real dirty on Route 17 South, bro. I was real wrong on Route 17, dog. I had about a decade strong, man, because I had a long-term girlfriend, and she was like actually my high school sweetheart, and she moved away because she was military. And so when she moved, I mean, we were in Maryland. She moved to Virginia. So in my mind, I'm like, that ain't nothing. I'm young. I just got my car. So I was with her off and on for 10 years. And I would just drive down to Virginia Beach every weekend. True story, bro. Anyone, you don't believe me, dude? Hey, man, check receipts, bro. I'm certified. And I would go down there and I'd be all through Warwick at that high school, that Tidewater area. Newport News, was it exit 143 or something like that, or Route 143, one of them.
And check them in the comments on that one.
Bro, I was heavy down there, dog. I'll just leave it at that. I think it's been too long now, but once upon a time, you could drop my name down there. It was like that. I was down there.
Oh wow,
bro.
Travis down here. He said, I kicked out the club the other day.
Yeah, I was getting in trouble. But you know what's crazy? You know what's wild? Is like all these years later. Like, think about what I said. That was high school sweetheart for like 10 years. So that's like 18 to probably like 25, mid-20s. Or I guess late 20s. Bro, I'm 40 now. I'm married, got kids. I'm so far removed from that. But look at my life now. 757 organically through my show is showing me that love. That's what I'm saying about life, man. You can never, I'm not trying to derail the conversation and get all deep, but it's like you got to treat people with love and respect and never burn bridges, because just that energy I put out and all them years I put out riding Route 17 dirty, spending time down in the 757, now is coming back to me from people who, you know, just are learning about me, you know? Like, that just means that's deep to me, man. I got a lot of love for down there, dog. A lot.
Man. We know it all the time. We hear these 757 guys calling in all the time. And you got fans. I know at least one in the 276. Although you never been out this way, you got one in the 276.
No doubt.
MVP of this team last year.
God, I want to give you somebody different than John Allen, right? Because that's really what I feel like. I'll go Terry, because you know why? In a way, it's like a lifetime achievement award, because like he gets better every year. You know what I love about him? And I would say John Allen gives you this, but he just went crazy on Twitter, so don't even get me started. But
we ain't touching that one.
Yeah, he shouldn't have either. But Terry, the thing about Terry, and actually that's kind of my point, is like Terry gets better every year. He goes about his business quietly. I like that. Like he stays out of, he doesn't get into anything.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the things I always liked about Santana before I met him. You know, it was like, I think I'm like that. Like I got into trouble when I was young. Don't get it twisted.
Really?
But like as I got older and I matured and I focused on my craft, like that's one thing you know about me.
Yeah.
Man, I take this game serious. Don't let the joking and all that, the keying and all that we do on my show fool you. Like I put in work, we prep. I want to be an all-timer, bro. I want to be an all-timer. And so I like guys that take their craft serious, stay out of I'm not with all the flashy stuff. I'm not with all the nonsense. I like that about Terry. And every year he gets better and better. He doesn't complain. How many times has Terry come to the podium and said, man, I mean, if I just get a quarterback, you know, never. Or man, you know, I mean, this guy, Corey, bro, he's had hospital balls thrown his way. You dig? And he'll get lit up and he might be out of the game or he might come back in the game, but you never hear a peep out of him. He can block. Man, I like everything about his game, bro. So I'll go MVP Terry. And it's more of a collective, like what I've seen from him. They got to find a way. Man, I need a Brinks truck for that dude, bro, because he's not only gifted, but he embodies everything you want in a player for your team, you know?
Yeah. And Alexander Wilson, shout out. Thank you for both super chats, brother. Travis Hampton alumni here. You are bringing it back with the 757. You can have a blast down there. Hey.
Yeah, it's real, man. Yeah. I mean, the thing I always liked about it is I could go everywhere. Like I'm from a small town where I'm from, so it's like limited options. What I liked about the 757, now everything was spread out like the country, like where I'm from, but I liked that I could be at the beach or I could be in the hood or I could be at some of the best high school football games I've ever seen in my damn life or basketball games. And oh my God, the girls, man, there's some pretty girls down there. You know what I'm saying? At that time, that was a big deal. So like, I just, you know, I always had love for y'all, man. Shout outs to you.
I ain't getting it. Look, my watchdog is on here, so I can't really say. But I hear where you're coming from, Trey. I hear where you're coming from.
We retired, bro. We're retired.
We're retired. Back in the day, I get a call about that later. DMV and then work it. Yeah, man. But now they got a lot of love down there. But and we speak of you know other things that are impossible. This thing with Dan Snyder, you covering this team for as long as you have you, like, what is your gauge? I guess on a scale of 1 to 5, because 10 is overrated, I think. What is your scale that he will be forced out of this team and forced out of the NFL? Like right now, here's showing, don't matter how long it takes, but is this the end game for him?
Would you say 1 to 5 and 10's overrated, right?
Yeah, 10's. I say I like 1 to 5. Keep it simple.
All right, I'll give you 500.
Damn.
He's gone, bro. He'll be gone before the football season.
Anthony, clip that off for me real quick. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, listen, I was the last person to feel this way. The round table changed it, bro. Like, I watched that whole 2 hours, and I never want to see that. I just never want to see any clips again. I never want to hear anything again. I was heartbroken. I was angry. Man, it's one thing to have dealt with everything we've dealt with this guy. And we knew for years something wasn't right, but this was like the first time, and we knew allegations and all that. This was the first time really hearing the accounts, the personal accounts, the attacks, hearing him specifically, physically being named. Nah, bro. Like, he's bad for business, dog. You're seeing sponsors drop. You're seeing him now. I'm doing my whole show on this tomorrow, so don't ask me no follow-ups because I'm saving it for the show. But he's snitching. He snitched on Jerry Jones.
Yep.
No one wants to talk about it. I'll talk about it because I don't give a damn. He snitched on Jerry Jones, dog. So he gonna snitch on a whole lot more people.
Yep.
And the thing is, Corey, and we all know this, bro. Everyone watching this, everyone listening to this right now knows this to be a fact. When somebody starts snitching, it never ends well for the snitch. They think it does. Nope. It never ends well, ever.
Nope. Never does.
And you may bring down some people. You may, okay. Yes, this skeleton's in this closet, this skeleton's. But, bruh, you're snitching because we are on you. You're in the crosshairs, homie. And so to me, I think now Dan is realizing it's coming to an end. The NFL's already thrown him under the bus, and it's only going to get worse. And these allegations are not going anywhere. And I'm hoping more women who dealt with this come out and are brave enough to come out and give their stories, because I believe there's more. And by the way, none of these owners, I mean, who the hell is a billionaire that's a choir boy besides no one? None of them. They all did dirt. At the end of the day, to protect their ass, because for so long, Corey, I said they're going to protect him because of the money and the fraternity and the blah, blah, blah. He's bad for business. He's starting to snitch and air out dirty laundry. Oh, they are going to whack him, dog. He will be gone by football season. I'm telling you. He's out of here. It's a wrap.
I think this is a long time coming. I fell out with him before any of this came out. I watched his interview. I don't know if you remember this, but it was before Monday Night Football game. It was him and Rachel Nichols. And I said, he can't form a sentence without acting nervous or just like, he just can't be calm. He can't be cool. He's awkward. He's got Napoleon syndrome. And I mean, they said he signed up these debt waivers and everything. He can't afford razors anymore. You looked at him, he looked homeless. Like he literally looked homeless during the reveal of that name, of the new name of the Commanders. And it was just like, I'm like, this don't seem right. And it just, I think I've got a feeling that I'm hopeful. I will say this. And I trust you in your opinion. So to hear you say that gives me even more reason for hope. I put your Jericho. You like Jesse Jackson? We'll keep hope alive on that one.
What's your hey man? Yeah. Why you keep bringing up hair, man? You know I'm struggling follically. Come on, man.
Look, sorry. See, you got. Read the room.
Come on, man. This is like the third Jerry curl joke you done made, bro.
Just let your soul glow.
You know what?
Oh no!
You're not finna put my business in the street. I'm gonna cover mines up, dog.
Trav, I mean, bro.
Hey, what's your scale though? 1 to 5.
Scale? Oh, 7.
That's good. What you talking about? You the same page as me.
I give 7, 6, 7. And this has just been talking to you right now. I was kind of like a 30, 40 here. Earlier, like even last week, I sat down there. I forced myself to watch that entire 2 hour, listen to that entire 2 hours. And the fact, and I told you on this show, the fact that people could not get behind this, because I think Congress knows at the end of the day, all they really have is subpoena power. Mm-hmm. But if there's somebody that is pushing the envelope and saying like bad press, like people always say, good news isn't necessarily bad news. All news is good news or something like that. That's what some people say, right? The Shield, Park Avenue. Yep. Oh, no. Yep. You're making a mockery of the Shield. To hell if you're making mockery of your own team. You're starting to make a mockery of the Shield. That's why people don't have problems with Mike Brown, because Mike Brown, he was cheap, but he did not make a mockery of the Shield. And that is where, and that's the two different things right there. I'm just wondering why it took, and I called into Chris and Pete and asked them this. I said, why has it taken it so long for them to get pin Dan Snyder? And Jerry Richardson owns half of Charlotte and Spartanburg.
Yeah.
And they got him out within, I would say, wait, those reports came out, and then they say, he's just going to sell the team here in a little bit.
Well, you know why? Because they were starting to put the squeeze on him, like what's happening to Dan. And Richardson was like, all right, I'll take my money and roll out. Dan is, as we know, he's a lot more arrogant, and there's a lot more ego involved, and there's a lot more, I'm going to fight this, and I'm going to do, whatever it takes to keep my position and whatever. And the bottom line is, ultimately, like anything else, they can make your life a living hell, bro. And so I do think Dan is going to fight as long as possible, but everyone has his price, especially a billionaire. Mm-hmm. And listen, pay attention to the Denver Broncos, dog, because they're about to go for 4 point something Billy. So if you're Dan, hey man, let's make this sale. Take your money, get on that big ass yacht, and sail your ass somewhere else. And let's have a new owner here. That's what's going to happen. They're going to buy him out.
Yeah. I think that's going to come. And I think the precursor to that was that debt waiver that he signed to buy back everything last year. And I said something along those lines when it happened. I was just like, maybe this is something. And I didn't really want to say anything about it, but I said, where there's smoke, there's fire.
That's right.
And I even think with the name change, I don't think, and this is just conspiracy theory Sanchez right here, I think he did not have too much options in the name change. I don't think he had any. I think the league gave him a list and said, "This is what you're going to do." I think, and I've heard this from multiple people. I've heard that Jason Wright, how you love him, you hate him, or anything. He is from the league, like Brian LaFemina, who was hired to do the same dog-on thing, but they were able to lock him down this time, man. But Trav, we keeping hope alive with this one in him. And I will, before I let you go here, a little bit DC sports that's not Commanders. Number 11 retired for our Washington Nationals. A local kid. He was from Virginia in the 757, went to UVA in Charlottesville, and did it all for the Nationals and won that World Series back in 2019. Talk about the career of Ryan Zimmerman.
I mean, what is there to say, Mr. National? I like to always, me, I like to talk about a person's merit, and I had a chance to get to know Ryan over the years. He was always very gracious to me, gave me any interview I ever needed. But the mark of him to me, outside of the baseball diamond, because, he left us all with incredible memories, especially that damn World Series, right? And he was as clutch as they come. But to me, and I spoke about this on my show today, I think, but I just said, you learn a lot about someone when you have mutual friends and they aren't in the room. And people talk about you behind your back in a positive. Mm-hmm. That told me everything I needed to know, because from my interactions with him, he was always cool, funny. It's weird because in interviews, he seemed kind of boring, but like as I spent time with him, he was funny and like real laid back. He was like one of the guys. At one point, I actually drank a beer with him. But like in interviews, he seemed uptight, like a lot of these baseball players. Scherzer's a little similar too, and Scherzer's real cool in real life. So when people, when he wasn't around and people would talk to me about Ryan Zimmerman, they would always just speak of him so highly. So to me, that's my memory, really. That and his restaurant. He owns a restaurant next to Nats Park called Salt Line. And bro, during that World Series run, Corey, I think some of my liver and my soul is still on the floor of Salt Line. I got hammered drunk in his place.
Hey, let me before it did this today, y'all. I want to tell you, Travis is an MVP because the man is out here grilling on Sunday. I have to touch this story.
Man, I was stressed out, dog.
Almost didn't get to see the Super Bowl, and he had to pull a Karen Thomas out here to get it done. Bro, take me through. Just share that because for people who don't like listen to your show every day, I think this is a fun story. This is among your hilarious stories. This one was excellent,
bro. First of all, I blame my wife. So Saturday, I was, as you mentioned, I was grilling. I just had a lot going on. I was doing a lot. I had the kids outside with me. That's the thing too. I had to. What was she doing? I had the kids with me. I'm outside grilling because it was like decent weather Saturday. So I got a semi backyard. You know, it's a city. I got a decent backyard. The kids are out playing. I'm grilling, chilling, listening to music, doing what I do. You dig? And my wife, like real matter of factly, was like, "Hey, something's up with the internet." I'm playing music on my phone, so all right, I just keep it moving, keep grilling. And then a couple hours go by. She's like, "Hey, something's up with the TV. The cable's messing up."
Uh-oh.
I'm like, "I'm outside." So I'm like, okay. And then I think I might have said then, like, reset the box, right? And that was it. Dog, by the time I finished, I came in for the night, poured myself a beverage and chill, kicked my feet up. I turned my TV on and it's like an error message. Like, nah, you have no TV tonight, brother. So I called cable and I was cool I was calm at first. Karen hadn't came out. Karen hadn't showed up yet. So I was very cool, professional, calm, cool, collected. And then what flipped my switch was the lady was like, "Okay, well, I'm looking at the schedule. I'm not going to be able to get anyone out there till next week." I said, "Oh, no. No. Hey, I turned into Dikembe Mutombo real quick. No.
I gave the fly swat.
No. I said, "Listen, it's Karen when you say ma'am. I said, "Ma'am, the Super Bowl's tomorrow. And what we're not going to do is send someone to me next week. You're going to send someone tomorrow, okay?" And it was just the most awkward, uncomfortable pause ever. And then she just said, "Hold on, sir." And she put me on hold. I got somebody else on the phone that knew the story, so she filled them in. And they were cool. And they were just like, "All right, yeah, we got you. The best we can do is a window from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m.
Perfect.
What time's the Super Bowl?" And I said 6. So I know you have a notes page. Put in the notes, I need 5. Again, awkward pause, silence. But I heard typing. And she said, "Okay, sir, I put it in the notes. But, you just need to know that someone could show up at 7. I said, "Well, you just need to know I can have a dish on Monday morning because I've been a customer here for a long time." Okay, we got it. So sure enough, man, Sunday at like 5:15, dude showed up to my house and did his thing too. I was the last job of the day. Yeah. So he was trying to leave too. He hooked me up.
You should get that brother a steak. That's what I was trying to tell. And that's what I told you on Facebook. I said, "Get this man a steak. Don't give him a beer." I said,
know.
"Hungry on Super Bowl."
I tried, bro. I did offer. I didn't say a steak. I just said like, "Yo, I got food. I had beer. I offered him like a bottle of water. The only thing I didn't have on me was cash, because dang. I don't care, bro.
I don't either.
Who carries cash?
I don't care.
And I needed cash right there. I'd have gave him $20 for that. You know what I'm saying? Maybe more. He saved my Super Bowl. But I had no cash. I wasn't going to write him a check. So I was just like, man, I'll give you food or beer or water, but he wouldn't take anything. Bro, if it was me, I would have shotgunned the beer and rolled out.
Yeah. I said, give me that. I said, give me that money. I said, give me that. I said, that's a mighty good steak over there. What you got? With that flank steaks, ribeyes? Yeah, give me some of that,
Hey,
young blood.
but he was trying to get home to watch the game. If I was him, I would have Steve Weisered a couple joints and took a plate. I'd have took a plate to go, and I would have hooked him up with all that.
Oh man! Shout out to Alexander Wilson to give people know. No Snyder said he wants to lead the team to his son, who actually plays college football with Joe Gibbs' grandson, which is why he won't sell. Well, it don't matter. Down there at App State, it don't matter. He can dump that money. Maybe he can own the football program down there, and we'll move on. I appreciate that super chat too, brother. But yeah, Anna says not Karen, Tom.
Hey,
excuse me,
listen.
Clarence Thomas came out. Judges in session right here.
It didn't matter to me, bro. I did what I had to do. It got it done. If I just took it, they would have sent somebody out on Wednesday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. But hey, Trav, I'm glad you got the Super Bowl, and I'm even more glad that you came on here and chopped up with me for about an hour. Appreciate you, brother. We know your fans and your family know what's going on, but for the folks that might not know, what you got going on?
Hey, man, every day, Team 980, 9 a.m. to noon, Travis Thomas experience. You know, Corey would be the first to tell you, we're just different. I mean, everything from the music, I try to have different topics. I think it kind of drives my bosses crazy because they rather me talk about what every other show is talking about, but I can do that, but it just wouldn't really be what we do. You know, like I really like kind of bringing like a barbershop element to our show where I like getting everybody involved. I don't like talking at people. I like talking with people. I like arguing. I like telling jokes on each other. I like making light. I like making light of sports. We don't have to all take it so serious. We don't have to, I know I've been covering this a long time. My credentials speak for themselves. My resume speak for themselves, but I don't like being some sort of authoritarian. Like I'm the expert. I think nowadays it's 2022, man. So everybody has access to this information. Everybody does their research. Everybody watches the games. Everybody bets on games for the most part. Like I'm not trying to sit here and preach to people. I invite anyone watching this or listening to this who has not been a part of the experience to come through because it's really a family thing and we mean it. It's organic. Travis Thomas experience Monday through Friday, 9 to noon, Team 980. Get at me.
Yeah. Yep. And Sunday bets as well on the BetQL on Twitch. You guys can watch it. That is premier entertainment right there. You can learn and you can cash in all the time with these guys because they hit now. Y'all hit.
Hey, Corey, you know what's crazy? So this upcoming Sunday on BetQL Network, from noon to 4, I won't have Michael Jenkins and I won't have Quentin Mayo. And my boss asked me, he was like, "Hey, we're looking for replacements for you. You know, who would you recommend?" And I was like, "Well, I have a long list of people I can recommend." Yeah. But I said to be honest, I'm obsessed with this game, and I'm obsessed with being a great. And so my first choice, I host a sports talk show every day for 3 hours talking to myself any damn way and my peeps.
I know where you're going.
So let me rock that solo. And bro, I mean, I think the reaction was just like, whoa, okay.
Hey!
Someone wants to talk about sports betting for 4 hours solo? Sign me up. So I'm actually hosting solo on Sunday, man. So I could use you. I could use you helping a brother out, man. Send some comments on Twitch.
Oh, you know that's right. I was like, I like when Quentin read it, right? He's like, Sanchez 405 said that. I was like, bruh, man, like Travis know who Sanchez 405. Like, he's like, this is I don't know who this uncultured swine is, Travis. I referred to. But no, I'll be in Alabama, in Birmingham, in the Airbnb. You know what? We might be able to hook you up to the big TV and watch you while Anna plays in the water with her research. But Trav, it's an honor. I consider you family. I consider you a mentor more than anything, bro. And I appreciate you coming on here And you know, I know this ain't gonna be the last time you come on here. So, but until the next time, y'all, Travis Thomas, Sanchez 405. We keep that same damn energy. We outlast the bastards together. And I tell y'all, don't give up before the miracle happens. Till next time, y'all. Love, peace, and hell. Big Doug McCray next week, same time here on the Warpath. Y'all, guess what? Somebody get my stuff. Run my clock. I can't get a producer to do this. We out.